So I showed you guys how to build the octopus aquarium, and then I showed you how I built the shark egg aquarium, and I kind of spoke how they're going to be intertwined, at least to some extent. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what I meant. We're going to talk about the lighting, the filtration, and of course building the stands. Leaving the stands for the end because that didn't end well. More on that later. Now check out this view. Isn't that lovely? Sit here at my desk, build some stuff, do the podcast, swivel around, and enjoy the tanks close up. Here's a cool part. The filtration for both of them is right here. I have complete and full access. It's like the most access I've ever had to any aquarium, and because I am getting a little older and senile and decrepit, and I'm hurting all the time, and my back's always sore, I don't even have to bend over to access the aquarium. Just arm's length, I can kind of touch the bottom. We are going with sump filtration. Can we just take one more look at everything? I can't wait to show you everything, actually everything, but let me take one more look. Matching tanks, matching stands, matching stand filtration. Filtration just kind of like perfectly fitting in there. Lighting fits the room, the big logo on the back. This is an exciting build. You're seeing it one dimension though. Wait till we get to the other wall. It's gonna get a little crazy. Let's start off with the lighting itself. First and foremost, these are going to look familiar. Those are those pendant style DIY lights that I showed how to make previously, and we put them on the 2000 and all the 180s, and I felt like I'm not growing coral in here. I only need enough light to kind of see the fish. Why don't we keep the theme going and put these lights right back up here? Plus it kind of lights the background up a little bit. And I just think they look really good. Downside is we've got all these white wires going along the ceiling, which doesn't look good. To be honest with you, I usually just spray paint them black. Much like what we did over the 2000, which the lights aren't on, so you can't really see them right now. So these lights are using just 11 watts a piece, and to be honest with you, it lights the tanks up perfectly. There's no light spillage in the room either. And like I said, it kind of lights this area up beautifully. It just seems like these tanks and the filtration was all just meant for that wall, doesn't it? Well, maybe you don't think so, but that's exactly how I feel about it. Looks great. Now, an actual problem, if we're gonna call it that, is that I don't have all the pieces and parts that I need for the overflows, for the filtration and the sump and all the other like little miscellaneous things that I need. But I figured, let me keep the ball rolling, show you how I built the stands, the lights, talk about the filtration, and I always like to get a little bit of feedback anyways. But the plan is going to be to install overflows that are hopefully octopus proof into the backs of the tanks. They will overflow, each individual tank will overflow together into these aquariums, and I'm either thinking I'm gonna go with a split pump or 2 pumps. Haven't decided that yet, like 1 return pump for each tank. I don't know yet what I'll actually do. And in here, they'll have a couple filter stocks for mechanical filtration. We'll have some biological media. And then of course, we're gonna have an oversized protein skimmer. That protein skimmer is gonna be good enough for like 300 gallons, but this total system's like 180. This is just a 40-gallon breeder tank. It's an extra one of the 6 that I had. So I decided to build it right into here, giving me complete and total access. I'll make sure it's covered so there's not a tremendous amount of humidity or anything like that, but I'm loving this setup. I'm loving the fact that this is, I mean, look, I can look down, I can look through standing at it. It's like the perfect height. Or I can sit at my chair and kind of go like this, but since this desk goes up and down as well, I even come down and I'm like at eye level. This is perfect. I never planned it that way. It's just turning out that way. And a lot of the times when things happen that are awesome that I didn't mean it to be, I get a little more excited than I probably should. All right, so like I said, these lights I think just fit the room. The white wires gotta go. It also doesn't take away from the logo in any way. I can raise them or lower them if I want to, and we'll see what happens once we get fish in there. Like I could lower them to here perhaps if I wanted to, but if we look at all the other tanks out here, it's all matching. And sometimes that's important. Personally, I don't really care. I'm not really big into lighting anyways. I'll use whatever works. But man, just look how well and how good these tanks look together. Absolutely phenomenal, if I do say so myself. I'm in love with this setup. So I mean, that's like an introduction into, well, of course, there's not much more to do with the lighting. I've already built them before, and if you want to see that video, link's on my channel somewhere. Or maybe I'll put it in the link in the description, but I'll likely forget. That's what we're doing for filtration. And one of the next videos we do on this, we're just gonna go ahead and plumb the whole tanks, build the filtration, and likely scape it as well if everything passes its water test. We'll do like one big video on this so we don't have to keep breaking them up. I'm not a huge fan of breaking these videos up, but sometimes a week or two can go by without having what I need to complete what I'm doing. But what about these stands? Let's do another how to build an aquarium stand video, shall we? We'll keep it short. The stands themselves are built out of 2x4s, and I plan to cut these to be 32 inches wide, 32 inches long, and stand, I forget. Oh, 40 inches tall. Building a basic 2x4 frame, and because these are acrylic tanks, the top where the tanks are actually gonna sit on need to have horizontal support as well as vertical. Now these stands could potentially support 6,500 pounds approximately, and these tanks 1,000 pounds maybe. So they are way stronger than I need them to be, but that's the case with 2x4 stands anyway. Okay, so I could have did these stands better. I didn't need access into the stands themselves, and I didn't want to go too crazy because, to be fair, wood is like double to triple the cost right now, and because I don't need in them, I just went with some economy type of materials. These wainscot panels were only 15 bucks a piece, and then some pine boards just to kind of add a trim to it, kind of finish it off. And then of course, as you can see, painted them black. I already had the black paint on hand. Same thing went for the filtration stand. I didn't want that on the floor, I wanted it up so the pumps would be stronger with less pumping head height. Also, far more accessible, plus I kind of want to see it anyways, and I kind of want it to be like the mechanics of what's happening here. You can see behind me, because likely when we do the podcast, I'd be here, Tamara would be there type of deal, and you can kind of see through us. Give you guys something else to look at, instead of this pretty face. Everything included though, each stand was about 90 bucks. $90 for each, which is probably twice the cost it would have cost me 2 years ago. I mean, if we take a closer look, it certainly looks like a $90 stand, but to be fair, I love it. Oh! I saved tons of money building these stands myself. Took me a couple of hours, but then I made up for it by every once in a while, I've got too many things going on and I get a little clumsy. And sometimes I break cameras. So all the money we saved, I lost it completely in busting that camera. Fantastic. Not the first time, probably won't be the last time, but whatever, this just comes with the territory. Anyways, hope you guys kind of like are enjoying this build process. I know that like the tanks aren't up and running and the fish are in or anything like that. In reality, that's not what happens in real life. These things can take months, but I suspect by the end of the month, we'll have these completed with the animals in them. Octopus, shark eggs. Both saltwater systems connected at the sump here, lit by those do-it-yourself LED lights, sitting on top of the do-it-yourself stands in tanks that we also built. Run by filtration we built. I hope you guys are sticking around and enjoy it. If you don't, how do I end videos? I hope you enjoyed. Hi everybody, see you guys in the next video.